Over 300 million years ago, during what is called the Carboniferous period, Ireland was located near the equator and covered in warm, shallow waters teeming with life. Limestone, a sedimentary rock made up of mud and the remains of marine life, was deposited at that time over large parts of Ireland. This includes the region on the eastern shores of Lough Mask and Lough Corrib and all around Lough Carra. The tropical oceans of the Carboniferous are now long gone, and since then the western part of our geopark region has been uplifted due to tectonic forces. The more recent ice age has worn down the bedrock, in particular the limestone to the east of the geopark, where in places it has left bare an environment called limestone pavement. Because of its nature, limestone can be dissolved by any acidic liquid, including rainwater. This process, which slowly opens holes and channels in the bedrock, creates a landscape called karst. This landscape gives rise to unique features, such as swallow holes, which are formed where surface water goes underground, caves, and underground galleries, which are openings carved by moving water underground, isolated depressions called dolines or sinkholes, and finally, springs or exit points of water from the underground system back to the surface. Let's now look back at our region. Lough Mask has many rivers flowing into it, but none flowing out of it. In fact, it is only connected to Lough Corrib thanks to an underground river system. Lough Mask waters go underground in a series of swallow holes located on its southeastern shores. It then reappears 3 to 4 kilometres further south at the various springs around Cong, pushed up as they hit another type of sedimentary bedrock, to form the Cong River flowing into Lough Corrib. From the village of Cong, it is possible to observe the power of this spring complex. In fact, in terms of flow, it is one of the top 10 springs in the world. However, this flow was 2 to 3 times as high before the opening of the Cong Canal in 1854. The canal has opened up a new outflow for Lough Mask waters during the rainier season, or the winter, and so controls the lake's water level. Parts of the previously submerged southern and eastern shores of Lough Mask, near Clonbur, are now emerged for the majority of the year, revealing a wide area of limestone pavement. These are hosts to other shallow karst features forming on its surface. Egg box pitting, tube carden or rochran carden, a specific type of carden feature created by the action of water vapour in overhanging parts of the limestone shore, and boulders in sockets, which are shallow depressions that match the shape of a boulder above them, as its shadow keeps the water from evaporating. Let's move on to Lough Carra, a marl lake. The catchment for this lake is entirely composed of limestone bedrock, and the lake is fed both by surface and underground rivers. The waters of Lough Carra also are historically of high quality, with very little nutrients and sediments. These conditions are what makes Lough Carra a marl lake. Such lakes allow a community of cyanobacteria to live on the lake floor and slowly build a crust on its floor. Such an environment is a biodiversity hotspot with a number of rare fauna and flora around the site. Unfortunately, these are under threat from human influence. Turloughs are another common feature of our landscape. These are temporary lakes found over limestone bedrock, and specifically in this part of Ireland. They are depressions in the bedrock with a connection to the underground water system. This can sometimes act as a spring during the winter and as a swallow hole in the summer. The depression is commonly a lake only for a part of the year. These wetlands are home to a number of migratory birds coming to spend the winter in Ireland. As with Turloughs, many of our karst areas are susceptible to groundwater flooding. To better predict and understand future flooding events, the groundwater programme at Geological Survey Ireland is currently mapping karst features and underground pathways, including here in the geopark. They are also using information from previous flooding events to predict and model future events with respect to our changing climate. Overall, the green colour of our island comes in large part from the fertile bedrock that is limestone, allowing grass to grow naturally, so luscious. Understanding the limestone better helps us understand what makes Ireland so special.